We welcome all of you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. This afternoon, an SEC West encounter. The Arkansas Razorbacks against the Aggies of Texas A&M. This morning, the traditional step-off, the Corps of Cadets marching through the streets of downtown Fort Worth. And just outside the stadium, a couple of hours ago, it's yell practice. Daytime instead of midnight. And you bet, there are more than a few folks here to call the Hogs. Arkansas and A&M, these two old foes, meeting in a neutral site today. It's the Southwest Classic on CBS. Again, we welcome you to AT&T Stadium in North Texas. It's the Southwest Classic featuring Arkansas and Texas A&M. The Razorbacks one defeat, and the Aggies come in 4-0. Take a look at the SEC West standings. You could make a pretty good case that this is the strongest conference, much less division. Alabama, Auburn, A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU all ranked. Arkansas, with a win today, is certain to crack that top 20 ranking. Hi once again, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. A pleasure for us to visit the AT&T Stadium. And Gary, we couldn't have two teams that contrast more in their approach to offense. You've got Arkansas running the ball well and the Aggies throwing it equally well.
I love this matchup. This is really going to be fun. I mean, because what makes sense is probably both teams won't be able to stop what the other team does well. So I suspect it's going to be the left hand for each that's going to determine the game. How well Arkansas can throw the ball and how well Texas A&M can run the ball. But I'll tell you this, the defensive backs for both sides, A&M, they better buckle those chin straps. And for Arkansas, they better tie those shoes tight because they're going to do a lot of running.
Well, if you're the Aggies, you lose Johnny Manziel and you think, oh, woe is me.
Right.
And then here comes Kenny Hill.
Yeah, this system produces quarterbacks, but let's not underrate Kenny Hill. I mean, he's a guy that extremely talented, fought off tough competition to get it, and then the pressure of doing it game in and game out is there for A&M, because if he doesn't play well and deliver the ball, there's really not much of an offense for A&M. He looks like he's the next in a long, long line of quarterbacks that Sumlin and Kingsbury and these guys have produced.
Well, I grew up in Texas, and I grew up watching Arkansas and A&M play a lot. For me, this is a game like 1965 when you talk about Arkansas's approach.
Yeah, Broyles against Darrell Royal, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, it's the big guys running the ball, but they got two big guys that can run the ball for this team. Thunder and Thunder, Collins and Williams. A lot of times we won't even know which guy's which in the game. I know one guy's got more hair. I do know that coming out of the back of his helmet. Two dynamic runners, but, you know, Vern, to win a game and to beat the number 6 team in the country, your quarterback and Brandon Allen's going to have to make some plays. He won't get as many opportunities. We've seen his first game a couple years ago. Now we've seen him grow where he's the guy running this powerful offense. Should be really fun.
Arkansas, Texas A&M. It's a battle in the SEC West. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Ford, Aflac, and by Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about my life, it's filled with dreams. Work hard, play hard, I know you're feeling me. FGL up in the SEC, riding shotgun, got my dog next to me. And you know we going big like every week. And you know we gon' feel like every seat. No, we don't do it for the fame, we do it for the rain. We
And we welcome you inside AT&T Stadium. Now we take you to First on the Field, presented by Microsoft Surface. Well, the dome is closed. Outside it's 82, but it doesn't rain inside. No threat of weather here. Arkansas and A&M. Arkansas left the old SWC in '92, A&M 2 years ago. Aggies have won the last 2 matchups, but the last 3 times they played in this building, Arkansas won it. Now let's go to Allie LaForce, who's standing by with Brett Bielema.
Coach, this is a matchup of entirely contrasting styles of play. How do you impose your will on Texas A&M?
Well, we take it one play at a time, one man at a time, really. And I think the thing our guys love more than anything is this kind of environment. They've built a lot over the last year and a half, and to get to today, it's been a reward. So
much talk about Texas A&M's quarterback, Kenny Hill, but your quarterback, Brandon Allen, is having a much improved season. What do you need to see from him today?
Well, BA just continues to do the things that we ask him to. Control the game, be great with the players around him. He doesn't have to take it over. I don't need Superman. Just do what he's been doing, and he'll be just fine.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
And your reaction?
You know, Vern, I think it used to be game manager was enough, but I think they're going to lead a little bit more out of Allen. It's not just enough to take care of the game. He's going to have to make some special plays, I believe.
And Allie LaForce showing that athletic speed. She's standing by now with Kevin Sumlin.
Coach, your offense has not missed a beat with Kenny Hill as your starting quarterback. What do you need to see from him today?
Well, first of all, we'd like to move the ball. We want to protect it. Just keep playing the way they have been. He's been playing well. The other 10 guys on the field got to make it quarterback friendly, and so far this year we've been able to do that.
You're facing the top rushing team in the SEC. How do you game plan against a team that's so big up front?
Well, you know, I don't know that we can stop them. We're going to have to contain their run game and eliminate big plays. As soon as they get everybody up there, the play action game is dangerous. So if we can contain their run game and eliminate big plays, you know, and score when we have the ball, because we're going to be limited on possessions, we'll be all right.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Both guys basically said the same thing, right, Vern? The other guy's got to help the quarterback.
Exactly. Aggies won the toss. They have opted to recede to open the game. And Arkansas has Adam McFain on for the kickoff chores, wearing number 48. According to our stats, this is his first kickoff of the year. Trey Williams deep for the Aggies. Returnable from the goal line. Good block on the right side. Hauled out of bounds by the kicker. Adam McFain saved a bunch.
I think Jeremy Sprinkle, number 83, had a first shot, but he's a big man and was just dodged out of the way. And I thought right away we might want to have one of these where first possession is no play touchdown. Now that's an up-tempo offense.
Yes. Well, last week in the win over Northern Illinois, Corliss Williams of Arkansas opened the game with a 97-yard kickoff. Here's the handoff. Right side, it's Brandon Williams, number 1, who's popped as he nears the sideline.
Garrett Gramling gives Arkansas a taste of their own medicine. The guard pulls around and chops down the cornerback. I mean, that's basically a play that Arkansas will run throughout the day.
Stop was made by number 28, Rohan Gaines. It's a gain of 6. Quick flip. That's kind of what you expect to see from them. We'll chart.
Yeah, I think it was an illegal formation or something, though. Something wasn't right about A&M's play or alignment.
Well, we'll check the flag in a moment. In the meanwhile, Kenny Hill opened the year, as I think most of you know, on the road at Williams-Brice Stadium, throwing for a school record 511 yards.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 15 defense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's against Andre Tolliver, number 15.
Yeah, the corner to the bottom of the field. Excuse me, Vern. at the beginning of the play, it looked like they had their tackle too far off the line of scrimmage, and it was called, but the linesman just called to the face. That doesn't usually happen to the outside of the formation.
Four-man rush, a screen pass right side. That's caught by Josh Reynolds, number 11. And now the Chick-fil-A offense for the Aggies. Well, boy, he might be the first pick among offensive line next year in the draft. Grambling, Matthews, Cheek, and Ifedi, also a very talented offensive tackle. They get Cameron Clear, the tight end, back today from an injury.
And he's in there right now.
Yep. Tight to the right. He blocks on this play. Brandon Williams. Touchdown, Texas A&M.
I think that A&M offensive line was tired of hearing about how good Arkansas's offensive line is, because Garrett Grambling, again, number 78, comes around, pulls, and just lays it out. I mean, this offensive line for, you talk about a strength for a team. I don't know what it is, but it could be the O-line for A&M.
Josh Lambo, one-time professional goalkeeper for the FC Dallas soccer team. Williams, 13 yards. Quick striking Aggies lead by 7. Four plays is all it took Texas A&M after a 51-yard kickoff return. 4 plays and a penalty. And Taylor Bertolette is getting ready to kick off. Brandon Williams, second rushing touchdown, and this is an excellent return team. You see Keon Hatcher and Corliss Marshall back, and it was Marshall. Take a look. This was last week, opening kickoff against Northern Illinois. The Razorbacks defeated an NIU team that had won 17 in a row on the road, and they thrashed them. Need a big kickoff here, and this is the man who can provide it. A chance. Marshall. Good defensive work. Justin Bass, number 43, is the man up top. The Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Razorbacks. Here's Brandon Allen. Gary, he has improved from a year ago.
Well, he was injured last year. He played with a shoulder that he had to be, almost shot up weekly to just get by the pain. So you almost have to throw out 2 full years. He played a little bit before he was ready when Tyler Wilson got hurt, and last year when he was injured.
Jonathan Williams opens as the running back. 2 wides to the right side. Not much. Myles Garrett, number 15, getting his first start today. Up front, this is a massive, massive offensive line. Skipper, Denver Kirkland might be the best of the bunch. At skipper at left tackle is 6'10". Henry is a wonderfully gifted tight end, number 84. Gain of 1, second down and 9. Jeremy Sprinkle is in a tight end now. Number 83, 1 of 3. Allen to throw. Down the right side, man coverage. Beautiful. Beautiful. Keenan Edward, number 6.
So, Vern, what did we talk about in the open? Would it be matchup of this game? Would it be the running game for A&M, and the running game starts out strong, versus the left-handed passing game for Arkansas? 2 big statements early for both teams being able to do it.
That's Kendrick Edwards, a true freshman. And it's the reason why when we talk to the coaches, we say, is there anybody else that you have not listed on your depth chart who can play?
It was an open phone line. I don't blame them, basically, right?
I do, because I'm the one who doesn't know who they are. Edrick, first catch, run up the middle. Alex Collins said you can tell these 2 young men easily. Collins is the one with the dreadlocks.
This offensive line, as Vern told you, huge. Running at the middle of that defensive line for Texas A&M. And A&M has made a little bit of a tweak to their defensive alignment. Alonzo Williams is playing nose tackle. He used to play wider. He's playing right over the nose, trying to give a little penetrating look to this Arkansas offense.
That's number 83. Now they look like they might double team. They don't. But look at Collins. Spin move. First down plus.
There is no way against the size of this offensive line, as you look at it for Arkansas, that front seven alone for A&M is going to stand up. When I said buckle your chin straps for the secondary to stop this running game, as you look at the size, the biggest in all of football, pro or college, if that secondary for A&M doesn't come up and help in the run game, they can't stop it. They need a Troy Polamalu.
Absolutely. First down and 10. Fake the toss. Yep, there it is. Wide open and sprinkle the tight end. Number 83. You know, looking at that massive line, I'm reminded that the Arkansas Razorbacks finished undefeated in 1964. The average size of the offensive line was 220 pounds.
Right. Well, these guys can sometimes just engulf you. I mean, they'll just swallow that front right there. It just takes a lot of patience to keep calling it.
First down 10. Arkansas's initial possession of, whoops. Looked like Denver Kirkland, number 55, might have.
False start. 55 offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
But Gary, you went down on the field before.
Yeah, look at those guys.
Look at this. And you are what?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
187 pounds. No.
You look thinner than that.
6'10" and 6'6" right next to me.
Awesome. Woo. Under 11 to go. Opening surge for, look at that, 328.4. That's a lot of hog.
See how Arkansas hustles to the line of scrimmage. And this is the way they change plays. They declare for A&M and then change into a different running play.
Toss left side, Jonathan Williams.
Good defense by A&M.
Oh, was it ever.
Yeah.
First one up there was Devontae Harris. Regular starter. He's missed the last 2 games with an injury. He is back today. Obioha, there's Williams, who's playing nose today. Myles Garrett, graduate of Arlington Martin High School, a 5-star recruit, 5.5 sacks. He gets his first start today.
Well, he's played a lot of football for them, but he hasn't started. Number 15, he's going to line up opposite Bray Cook, a senior 4-year player for Arkansas.
Alex Collins is in the wing to the left side. Allen has time. Beautiful. Nice catch by Hunter Henry.
I don't know if Arkansas at this time has an elite wide receiver, but they sure do have an elite tight end. Freshman All-American last year. And when he gets in space, he is really, really tough to cover. Very athletic as well.
Young man out of Little Rock, Brandon Allen, whose hometown is Fayetteville.
One of the things I talked to Brett for on the field, he says he decides on 3rd down whether he's going to go for it on 4th down. So he's already made the call to his offensive coordinator.
He won't need to. Jonathan Williams, touchdown, Razorbacks. Pretty good start, huh? For both teams.
It was almost into the secondary before anybody even touched him on this play. And Armani Watts, another true freshman, goes, where's the spread passing offense I've been facing? Because remember when I said buckle your chin straps, you have to help on the run game? Armani Watts that time, number 23, another true freshman, gets his first taste of what it's like to take an elite running back on one-on-one. One missed tackle, two missed tackles. Mastro Giovanni missed it, and then Watts missed it.
You know, I know you've been working on that name all week long.
Hey, he missed one tackle, I missed one name. We're even.
It's Mastro Giovanni. AT&T Stadium in Arlington, or an area of Texas known as North Texas during the Final Four, when the championship game was played in this facility. Adam McFain will kick off for the second time. Oh, why would you pick it up?
I didn't know if it was going to roll out or not.
Take the chance.
Yeah, it took a little, decided a little too conservatively on that one, cost it. So one big play, and yeah, it looked like it was bouncing back in. I got,
okay.
It looked like it was going. He said he was going to let it go out of bounds. It bounced to his right, so he said, I got to grab it. So here we go.
Again.
Yep.
Kenny Hill. Mike Matthews of the fabled Matthews family is over the ball. He's missed the last couple. Oh, dear. Darius Philon, number 91, was there when Trey Williams got to the gap.
Well, Philon just beats in the gap before he can even block down on him on that play and gets a negative play. Penetration against the run game. Both sides are trying to do the same thing.
Number 79, Joseph Cheek, missed it. Here's a busted play. Hill from behind. It'll be 3rd and 14. That was Trey Flowers, number 86.
Let's see what offensive coordinator Spavital is going to dial up here in 3rd and long. Wrong way. Either the quarterback went the wrong way or Trey Williams went the wrong way. But all I'm saying is, early in games, A&M loves to get their quarterbacks a lot of easy throws. For example, 2 completions so far, both have been behind the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they gamble on 3rd and long here and throw the ball downfield.
5 wides, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Crossing route, they go deep instead, and it's overthrown. Intended for Malcolm Kennedy, the most experienced of the Aggie wide receivers.
Yeah, Tevin Mitchell did a great job that time, cutting off to the spot and playing good defense. 3rd and long, aggressive, rerouting the receivers. Pretty good pass protection. Oh, driven right back into his face. I don't know who it was, but coming from the left side, right back into Hill's face. He had to throw the ball early.
Here's the punt, Drew Kaiser. Only 1 has been returned this year. This one will not be. That's the 9th punt for Kaiser. 1 return for -1 yards, and this one comes to rest.
Yeah, it was Trey Flowers. I looked at the replay during that punt, Vern. Trey Flowers actually pushes his offensive tackle right into Kenny Hill.
There's Trey Flowers. I'd say he won that battle.
It's bigger.
Adam, thank you very much. 7-7 here. Let's quickly check in with Allie LaForce.
2 updates on injuries on the Texas A&M side for you, Vern. Trey Williams, number 3, had what appeared to be a right knee injury. The training staff was poking around in the right knee. Then they got him up and they had to make some pretty agile movements and cuts along the sideline. He seemed to be moving pretty quickly. He shook his head yes at them and they gave him the go-ahead to continue to play. Now, Brandon Williams, number 1, on the other hand, the last play he was in was the touchdown. Not certain of his injury, but he is marching up and down the sidelines, very disappointed. Almost looked like he's in tears, even took his gloves off and threw them across the field. So he's very upset. Something's going on with him.
All right, Allie, thank you. First down and 10, 7-7 game. And this is the second Arkansas possession of the ball game.
Yeah, 2 tight ends stacked. Derby and Henry.
And off up the middle. Corliss Marshall. Well, the previous possession, they've had only one prior to this.
We talk about the shifts and formations. All 3 receivers are to one side, so that means 3 defensive backs for A&M are to one side. But on this one, Devontae Harris, Amani Watts, and DeShazer Everett make the play. It forces the defensive backs to come up and fill. On the touchdown, no fill, big play.
And the first rushing touchdown yielded by A&M this year. Second down and 2 after that Marshall run. He didn't. Oh, it's Alex Collins, beg your pardon. And Collins surges. Well, Brett Bielema, 44 years old in his second year at Arkansas after 7 years at Wisconsin, during which time he led the Badgers to 3 consecutive Rose Bowls. Played as a walk-on defensive lineman for Hayden Fry at Iowa.
Yeah. Years are passing by. I covered his games when he played for Iowa.
First down 10, fumble. Scramble.
Well,
Aggies say they've got it. Aggies have it. Bad exchange. Looked like it might have been Sean Washington, number 33.
It was. Last year, Arkansas was last in the SEC in turnovers given up. They forced turnovers. That one totally self-inflicted. I mean, you're trying to win a game for the first time in the SEC. Things are going well, and you can't get the simplest quarterback-center exchange. Vern, I wonder if that nose tackle speed might have had problems for some others on the play.
That's Alonzo Williams.
Get out there in the field. Let's go.
Plus, Monday, Neil Patrick Harris and Aretha Franklin.
Tuesday at 10 Eastern, it's a sports conversation unlike any other, as elite women in sports provide a new voice for all trending topics. Don't miss the groundbreaking premiere of We Need to Talk, Tuesday at 10 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS. Allie LaForce, I know you're heading back to New York to help host that, right?
I'm extremely excited to be a part of We Need to Talk. So many talented women at CBS. Vern and Gary, you both know from working with them over the years. Now we get a chance to voice our opinion on our own show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know there's women behind both of you, too, that are dressing you and making all of your decisions.
Reverse. Speedy Noyle is.
You had to figure that A&M was going to try to loosen up this Arkansas defense, either throwing deep or, in this case, they dial up a reverse. You know, when I was growing up in high school and college, when the girl said we need to talk, that was always bad news. It was like, uh-oh.
Well, it is a much anticipated program. Here's play action. Down the middle, incomplete. Malcolm Kennedy sure did.
Missed a touchdown. The scouting report on Kenny Hill is he throws the stationary targets a lot better than he does moving targets, don't we all? But the slot this time, this is a touchdown. This is one of those play action passes where he's going to just run into the end zone on touch, runs right by the safety Devontae Burns, and that's a miss that's tough to take.
Second down, 10. Keep it on the ground. Trey Carson, number 21. And that's a pretty good example of gang tackling on the right side.
They pulled Big Affetti around that time, looking for somebody. As A&M substitutes, Arkansas's game plan is to substitute every time, especially in the defensive line. They were very clear they do not feel they'll have any excuse. They got enough depth for being tired in the defensive line.
3rd down 6. Hill rolls out, pumps. He'll keep. Oh, 4th down. A little aggressive behavior on the sidelines.
Kenny Hill does not run as much, obviously, as Johnny Manziel. You see his competitive instincts coming around. He thought he should have got a call there on the bench. But he did run the ball in his last 2 years in high school for 386 times. So it's not like he can't run the ball, but in this time, strung out, played well, come up, make the tackle, and he feels that it's too much after the whistle.
Trey Flowers again was the first there. And so on 4th down, Drew Kaiser will punt for the 2nd time. They're going to let this one go, and it will be almost perfect.
I think that was Malcolm Kennedy coming down there on that as the gunner.
And Ed Pope finally fell on it. Follow Arkansas, Texas A&M, or your favorite team all on your phone. Download the CBS Sports app now and never miss a moment of action. AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And let's go back to the fumbled snap.
Yeah, Vern, remember Mark Snyder, the defensive coordinator for A&M, made the switch, putting a faster guy on the nose. And this time, Mitch Smothers, does not get the ball up as he tries to reach the faster guy.
Inside the 5, 1st down and 10. Jonathan Williams is the lone back. That's Hatcher, Keon. Keep it on the ground. Nice move. And he's out across the 5, near the 8. This is an Arkansas team that turmoil is not too strong a word. They had the firing of Bobby Petrino. Jeff Long, the athletic director, let him go. Kind of a scandalous ending. John L. Smith, interim coach, not interim, but he filled in for 1 year, knowing he would not be offered the full-time position. He finished 4-8, and last year 3-9 in Bielema's first season at Arkansas. Allen, right side. Nice.
Well delivered, wasn't it?
Keon Hatcher with the catch, yes.
Remember, Keon Hatcher is, as Vern just kind of ran through the changeover at Arkansas, is part of the last regime's recruit. So he was recruited by Petrino to run in a high-fly passing offense. So you know that Hatcher's one of those guys that can run the routes, get open, and catch the ball.
1st down 10. Matter of fact, Hatcher had 107 yards receiving last week in the win over Northern Illinois. 1st down 10. Brandon Allen perfect so far, 4 of 4. That one didn't work. Alex Collins, there's a flag down. Devontae Harris, number 1 for A&M, made the tackle.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone for snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
This way, Tom. This way. Tom, we're offering you a little FaceTime.
It's a neutral site. He's not used to this stadium.
Oh, dear. 3:56 remaining, opening quarter. Brandon Allen perfect so far. Gary mentioned he had that shoulder injury last year. It affected his accuracy, under 49%, or right above 49.
Well, plus they're losing a lot of games, and
Yes.
he had to throw from behind. But right there, Tom Ritter was telling both sides to settle down a bit. Too much chippiness early in the game, and he wants to get to it before it becomes too much more later. Kenny Hill was basically the guy complaining to start it all here.
7-7 game, both teams scoring on their opening possessions. Alex Collins is the running back. Hatcher in tight to the right. Toss.
Oh, another one.
Just an absolute lack of concentration by Collins.
Hey, we've had a little bit of everything here. Both offenses are working nicely if the offense doesn't get away from themselves. They're getting right in the way, making mistakes that are really self-inflicted.
2 fumbles, 1 lost. And it's a loss at 2nd down and 9.
This is usually a strong run down for Arkansas. They do not like to throw the ball on 2nd down, but Allen has been sharp so far in the game.
Williams, nothing.
Yeah, from the secondary.
Sean Washington, listed as a backup linebacker.
Washington reads this. They got an extra backer in the game instead of 2 of them. Now they've got 3 of them, and he reads it and actually gets there before Jared Cornelius can get him, the wide receiver. Tough assignment. Arkansas thought that A&M would go nickel. They did not. They stayed with 3 linebackers on the field.
And so now 3rd and 8. Cornelius and Hatcher, wide receivers to the near side.
And the defensive ends are inside. This is another changeup for A&M, trying to put their fast guys inside.
Stunts defensively.
And it worked.
Miles Garrett
yes,
with the pressure.
One of the strategies on 3rd down for A&M was they felt Arkansas liked to help right here on the wide rushers and right there on the wide rushers. So they put their defensive ends inside. Miles Garrett runs a stunt, and he's right in the face of Allen. Good changeup for Texas A&M.
On 4th down, Sam Irwin Hill, punter from Australia. Nice one, fair catch. Nick Harvey makes the grab. And let's go to the studio for this Heisman watch. All right, Adam, thank you. 35-32.
Coach Jones got them playing better.
Yes, he does.
See if A&M doesn't start throwing the ball down the field here a little bit.
Hill tipped, almost picked off. Looked like Darius Philon got it. First man defending.
Well thrown, but well covered again. So far in this game, the secondary doing an outstanding job of jumping those routes. I think A&M needs to go deep again. Loosen up these guys. They're squatting on them.
Looks like they have that in mind. Pretty good coverage, though, so they settle with a short receiver. That is Ricky Seals-Jones. Jared Collins with the tackle. Kenny Hill opened with 5'11". That bottom line against SMU, they were back in the what's called the Metroplex last week. That was all in the first half, 265. SMU played TCU over at Gerald Ford Stadium earlier today. Oh, that one's tipped in the line. 4th down.
I think it was Bijan Jackson, number 78, that got that with his hands, but Trey Flowers was coming around again to put pressure. Inside, is it Bijan? Yes, it is. Number 78 is the guy that gets the tip on the ball.
And 2 of the 4 A&M drives now have resulted in 3 plays and a punt. This one goes left and is out of bounds. See where they mark it. Start your week off with a big. Let me try it again.
It's a pretty good show that you're talking about.
Well, I understand that. I should watch it more often. A Big Bang. Catch Emmy winner Jim Parsons and the rest of the gang on TV's #1 comedy. It's a new Big Bang Theory on a new night, Monday at 8/7 Central only. CBS.
I got a feeling it's better to miss a name of one of these players than not know the name of the Big Bang. Just got a feeling now.
George Schweitzer, our Vice President of Marketing and Promotion, is on the phone. How dare you? First down 10. Alex Collins. Take another look at that run.
Second level, block down, get into the secondary, a little bit of a shake, and force those defensive backs who've been all spring covering the spread, facing teams that throw the ball. Perimeter football, all of a sudden, it's old-time football.
Well, and you thought, Gary, coming in, that might be the biggest test for these young defenders.
The guys that aren't used to coming up and filling the run, it's just as hard for Arkansas to face the spread as it is for A&M to face the run.
Second down after that 8-yard run. They'll give it back to Collins. And he's going to move the chain.
I know you never really are going to turn down a long rush. You know, I mean, if you got an opportunity to run 70 yards, a run. But I think the offensive coordinator, Jim Chaney, and Arkansas, Brett Bielema, would love if they do it at 3 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. Control the clock and just move the chain slowly.
Well, 15 seconds to go in the opening quarter. The Aggies scored after a 51-yard kickoff. 49 yards in 4 plays to go up 7-0. But then the Razorbacks came right back and got a 9-yard touchdown run. And we are at the end of the first. Notched 7-7. These are teams that are averaging 55 and 49 points, respectively. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station. And we welcome you back inside AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. SEC West encounter between the Razorbacks and the Aggies. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Allie LaForce. 7-7 as we start quarter number 2. Brandon Allen at quarterback. With that huge offensive line in front of him.
2 tight ends in the game. Wide receivers close.
Think
anybody can block anybody, basically.
And they'll come up the middle on the first down play. Well, Gary, 7-7 ball game. Both teams scoring on their opening possession. Any advantage that you see thus far?
Slightly Arkansas. I'll tell you why. Kenny Hill's thrown 7 balls. He's completed 3, all behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He's 0 for 4 when he throws the ball downfield. That area has to obviously prove. If Arkansas continue to keep that under 50% downfield, I think they get a really good chance to upset A&M. I mean, they must do what they do. A&M has to throw the ball.
And Aggie fans are still bemoaning the fact that there was a missed opportunity for a touchdown when Hill threw high and behind Malcolm Kennedy. Wide open. 2nd and 1. Left side.
Stopped him.
Jonathan Williams. It'll be 3rd down. And let's spend a moment with Adam Zucker back in New York.
And Vern, watch the determination by former Gator Jacoby Brissett. He should have been sacked twice on this play. Now he's open, and Jonathan Alston is open, and it's 24-7 NC State in the first quarter against the defending national champs. As we go back to you.
My goodness.
Well, the possibilities of that upset just has to ring so strongly in the SEC. That's the upset that could produce a second team from this conference.
Yep, in the Final Four. Alex Collins. Alex Collins has an angle, and he's got the speed, and that is an Arkansas touchdown run of 50 yards. And a flag.
After the touchdown, personal foul number 74, offense, That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Didn't say what it was, but it was Bray Cook.
I think they called
foul, sorry.
taunting after he got a big hit. He hit a guy and then started almost like celebrating the touchdown, and Bray's going, come on, that was pretty good blocking. I mean, don't we get to celebrate in his mind?
Yeah.
The ball, I mean, you could pick out 9 guys in this play that blocked it perfectly, and a wonderful cut in the secondary.
John Henson for the extra point, up and good. And early here in the second quarter, the Razorbacks have a lead of 7.
Vern, watch 6'10" Dan Skipper and Henry Hunter, the tight end, get their blocks. Number 76 and 84, 2 perfect blocks. 76 blocks down, and then Hunter behind him walls off, and into the secondary they go. I could pick out a lot of other guys. A slam, and Hunter turns, and watch, 1 step cut, bam. And away he goes. Armani Watts goes, I've never seen anything like that in high school.
(14-7) Arkansas. Time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. Gary?
There's a lot of ways to play football, but 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line, this is the way Arkansas does it. Look what Texas A&M has to do because of this. On the 50-yard line, A&M has 11 guys in a goal line defense. And if you block it, and you block it well, and everybody does up front, you make one guy miss, and this time it was inside with Alonzo Williams, number 83, that missed the arm tackle. You're into the secondary for a big play. Listen, I love all types of offenses. I love the spread, the up-tempo, but that's not the only way to play football. There's different styles, and Arkansas styles give people just as much trouble.
Obviously. Couple of notes. That 50-yard run is the longest allowed by the Aggies this year. And this deficit is the first they have faced this season. Remember the penalty. Here is Speedy Noyle. Out the last couple, and a flag has been thrown up in the area of the tackle.
He was speedy too, wasn't he?
Oh boy. 36 yards.
The scouting report on Speedy Noyle is that he's a Percy Harvin type body and speed guy. True freshman.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Turn to return, holding number 85, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's on Cameron Clear, the tight end. So the ball marched back inside the 35-yard line.
It's a constant theme. You got to be what you are, okay? And A&M can't match this running game. You have to force Arkansas into playing space now. And that means look for Malcolm Kennedy. Look for your receivers. You got matchups. Throw the ball quickly on timing.
This is Trey Williams, number 3. And he gets a little bit. Rohan Gaines, number 28. First 4 possessions, you see a touchdown, and then 3, 4, and 3 out.
Right, and yet to complete a pass beyond the line of scrimmage.
Josh Reynolds is split wide right. Handed off into the secondary. That's a 1st down for the Aggies. The run from Trey Williams, number 3.
When I was starting my scouting on A&M, the first question I asked myself is, what's the strength of A&M's offense? Is it their line, their running backs, their receivers, and then Kenny Hill's being talked about as a Heisman? That's a lot of strengths.
Indeed. Play action, small one. Left side, almost picked off.
And the game plan for Rob Smith, the defensive coordinator, is catch the ones they throw you. And right there, they did not catch the one they threw you. Chance to make a huge play and drop by Carroll Washington.
Number 21 had it. 2nd down and 10, and Hill off to a very slow start. 4 men down for the Razorbacks. It's Cameron Clear, the tight end, shifts to the left. Hill under pressure. Finds the open man and misses him. Trey Williams, number 3.
Vern, a little small point here. DJ Dean, number 2. The effects of the targeting being called. Watch him pull off and not do the hit. That's what they're trying to do in college football and pro football. Hit a guy hard, but don't take the target shot.
A&M yet to convert a 3rd down. Oh boy.
Free play.
Yes, it is. Hill deep left side. Speedy Noyle had about a half a step, but he couldn't get there. Trey Flowers is the fellow who jumped.
Carroll Washington, number 21, and is matched up with Noyle right there.
Offside, number 86, defense. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
I actually thought Washington got a little bit of it just before we went to it at the end right there. I thought his arm knocked Noyle's stride off just a bit and made that ball overthrown. Interesting decision coming up if they don't make it for Kevin Sumlin.
Ball at the Razorback 49, 3rd and 5. Good coverage again, forces Hill to go right. Breaks a tackle. He had a 58-yard gain on the run. A quarterback who ran pretty effectively for the Aggies is in the house, as they say, Johnny Manziel.
They're going to go fast now with this 1st down. You're going to see the tempo. As finally, as Vern told you, that's a little bit of how Manziel produced those 1st downs.
1st down and 10. Big hole. Trey Carson.
And they'll tempo again. They will tempo and go it fast. Love the contrasting styles. This time the offensive line, a nice block by Joseph Cheek, number 79. Pushed his man right by and into the secondary.
And the ball at the 15, just outside. Arkansas holding on to a 7-point lead.
Timeout. Brett Bielema called a timeout there. Sensed his team in trouble and called a timeout.
$11:15 to go, 1st half. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station. That's a beautiful aerial view of AT&T Stadium, so named a couple of years ago. Also referred by many in this area as Jerry World. Jerry Jones had the concept.
And the guts to do it.
Yeah. Estimated cost was 1.1 B with a billion. The Verizon Red Zone stats for Aggies: 21 5 trips, 21 successes. Here's Hill. Little cut play. Down inside Josh Reynolds, number 11. And that's an effective play. Gain of 13.
Oh, here comes the Rhino formation for A&M. Arkansas will adjust, but I don't know if A&M with Kevin Sumlin has ever run a formation with no wide receivers in the game until now.
Look at this. Rhino. Brooks Ellis, the linebacker. Play action. He's got it open.
I think it was David Darley, number 86, and Cameron Clear. Both were wide open on the play.
That is Ben Compton, the backup center who changed numbers today.
To 86?
From 68 to 86.
Oh, my goodness.
And now we have an idea of why.
Everybody in the game.
Ineligible player downfield, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Now remember, the offensive lineman has to be more than 3.5 yards downfield when the ball is released. Let's see how far he gets downfield. Oh yeah, he's too far, isn't he? He's halfway into the end zone. He did not get the call. They probably had 2 plays called. Ben Compton gets the touchdown, but he thought it was a run.
So we'll shelve that one probably for the week. And now a more expected formation. Hill, handoff right side, Trey Carson. Nice tackle. Trey Williams, beg your pardon. Number 3, not 21. We got a lot of Treys, we got a lot of Williams.
Watch now for the big receivers down here. Cameron Clear, the tight end, 85, is 6'6". Ricky Seals-Jones, 6'5". Josh Reynolds, number 11, 6'4". Let's see if they throw one up to one of those guys.
3 wides to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and goal. Hill. Deep caught. Edward Pope, number 18. First catch of the year, touchdown Aggies.
And the best throw of the day for Kenny Hill. We talk about ripping a throw in there and a fingertip catch. And the hip comes down and he's got it.
Really wonderfully well executed. And Pope makes a difficult grab. Extra point for the tie. Josh Lambo.
The scouting report on Edward Pope is he's got the best hands on the team. Would you agree with that on this one? He's right down here, gets actually by 2 defenders for Arkansas, and then snatches the ball with the best hands on the team. What a great throw, great play design by A&M, and the big penalty by Arkansas. The offsides on 3rd and long kept it alive.
14-14 as the Aggies come back and tie it up on that beautiful catch by Edward Pope. 14 all, 10:06 remaining in the first half of play. See a few empty seats here at AT&T Stadium, but for the most part a full house, especially with the core in one of the quarters. Taylor Bertolette, almost 50%, 135 of 237, slightly less than 40% of his kickoffs have gone for touchbacks. Here's Bertolette. This one will be bobbled and will go down in the books as a touchback. Well, I'm among those in the house who remembers watching these guys. The 1964 national champions, 11-0 under Frank Broyles. Number 61, a guy named Jerry Jones. Number 60, upper right, guy out of Port Arthur named Jimmy Johnson. And we think way to the left out of the view is Frank Broyles, who was the head coach. And that sets up the Aflac trivia question. Who was the only All-American player on that 64 Arkansas national championship team? There's Jerry Jones.
Guy sitting next to Jerry Jones? Was that the guy?
I think
as
so.
The All-American player?
Could have been. He's aged a little.
Oh, in the secondary again.
Yeah. Jonathan Williams. 16 yards on that rush.
Have to remember that, you know, maybe A&M might have the highest quality win of these two teams, but Arkansas playing Auburn rushed in that loss in the first half when it was 21 all for 151 yards against Auburn. So this running game is going to work almost against anybody.
That was a gain of 16, a first down 10 at the 41. And again, it's Williams. They alternate the two backs and then sprinkle in a little bit of Corliss Marshall after you get a heavy dose of Williams and Alex Collins.
Well, Vern, what I kind of want to say is pick out a big offensive lineman to run behind and call a play to him. It's almost like how Kenny Hill had all those tall receivers to throw to.
Yeah.
Well, calling plays here, you got all these big, massive guys to run behind. Pick a guy, run behind him.
This time it'll be Alex Collins as the running back on 2nd down and 1. Move the chains, please. And a little more on Alex Collins. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. We watched him run his way into the SEC spotlight a year ago, but Coach knew that he could be better than that if he just made a few small changes to his eating habits. He wanted him to eat more regularly and also limit his fast food intake. So Collins bought in after last season. He's now playing at 218 pounds after playing at 204 last season. And for the first time in his life, he's eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day.
All right, Allie, thank you. 1st down 10. Hatcher in motion, now sets up to the left. Play fake. Brandon Allen looks deep. Goes deep left side. Man-on-man coverage. And there will be no flag.
I thought Devontae Harris was grabbing him the whole way.
My goodness.
I thought it was holding the whole way. The flag's down.
There it is, way up at the 32-yard line.
Right at the beginning, he caught Hatcher and never let go.
Holding, defense number 1.
That was,
10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
yeah, there's no doubt. And I think Hatcher would have been by him and had 4 or 5 yards of space. Watch, catches him, he realizes it, and he never lets go. He's got his jersey the whole time. And then at the end, nothing really happens, but the hold was way earlier than that.
Yeah, it was. Called up at the 32-yard line. Mentioned Devontae Harris, a starter, out the last couple with an injury, but back in the starting lineup today. 4 penalties for each team now. 8:11 to go in a tie game, 14-14 from Arlington, Texas. Handoff, Collins. A few over left guard. Sean Washington, number 33. Collins now with 9 carries for 88 yards, the long gain of 50. And his counterpart, Williams, with 8 carries for 41 yards.
And Arkansas is about to get bigger. They're bringing in Cameron Jefferson, number 89. His real number is actually 79. Another tackle in the game, as if they're not big enough. Cameron is 6'6", 307. Lined up at tight end, I believe, over there. Yeah, there he is.
Fake the reverse. Go deep, wide open. Touchdown, Henry Hunter, tight end. Flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're going to call holding on the play, and it's coming back. Armani Watts, Vern, the safety, is still trying to figure out who went out for the pass.
Number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
The holding came right there. Let's see what happened. Dan Skipper, number 74. Oh, inside it was number 76, wasn't it? Dan Skipper, one more in, and he hooked him. That was a good call. Now watch the safety on this play. Here's a guy that just got fooled. That's called getting fooled. He's still looking in the backfield.
It was Deshaun Hole, number 10, who had the penetration over Dan Skipper. And a pretty obvious call by the officials.
Yep.
2nd down and 16. Right side, out of the backfield. Jared Cornelius. 14-14 here. Let's spend a moment with Adam Zucker back in New York. All right, Adam, 3rd down and 9 here. Cornelius and Hatcher both go wide to the left side. Aggies bring 4. Now they get a rush, and the pass is overthrown.
Time Brandon Allen could feel the rush coming at him, and he tried to get rid of it too quick. Never got his feet under him. The ball just flew on him. Vern, what did Kevin Sumlin tell us that he thought he had a scouting report on Brett Bielema? He likes to fake his special teams, and you just saw him say safe. He's keeping his defense out there and plays defense safe.
And Sam Irwin Hill is on to punt. Note, he's ambidextrous. He can punt it either left foot or right foot, and he has done both, used both feet in a game. Not this time. It's right foot head. Tough to say. Out of Bendigo, Australia.
Boy, Arkansas is really hurting themselves with penalties, dropped snaps. A&M now has an opportunity here at the end of this half, and then they could start it again at the second half.
Now, a couple of blocks away from the A&T Stadium, where the Texas Rangers play, and among those who have pitched there, Kenny Hill, senior, 14 years in the major leagues, and he is standing by with Allie LaForce.
Thanks so much, Vern. You mentioned it, 14 years in the majors. That's not easy. Kenny did grow up playing baseball as well, but football was the sport he chose, and he is really excelling at that. How surprised are you with the early success he's having this season?
I'm very pleased with the success that he's having. Working hard. He did all the work in the offseason, and it's paying off now.
Let's watch this play. all
right. From father to son, number 7. Now 5 of 11 in this game. 14-14, 6:42 to go in the first half. Deep. Incomplete, intended for Speedy Noyle. Back to Allie.
If that would have been a pick, that might have ended this interview. I see that you're listening to the game with your headset. What advice would you give to Kenny right now, watching him play this first half?
Well, he got to stay poised. He's got to stay in the pocket, and you know they're playing good defense on him right now. It's just a matter of making adjustments.
Here we go with Hill around the right side.
That was a design run right there too.
And back to Allie.
Now I have to pick on you for this, because when we asked Kenny if he got his throwing form from you, he said you couldn't throw a spiral. Is that true?
That's true. I could never throw a football, and he knows that. But if you give me the little round one, I can throw it.
He can throw a 90+ mile-an-hour fastball, but don't ask him to throw a spiral. Mr. Hill, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Allie, thank you. 117 wins, 14 seasons in the major leagues for Ken Hill Sr. And bring this back. There's a flag on third down.
The Arkansas bench believes it's on A&M.
Prior to the snap, false start.
Yes.
Number 41, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
That is the backup tight end, Brandon Alexander.
Yeah, there's the flip. Right there, a little flex.
Now 3rd and 7, 14-14, under 6 to play. Got him open, Speedy Noyle.
This goes out just far past the chain, puts the brakes on, and the ball's thrown to the outside. Dad could not have thrown the ball to the outside corner any better than that. That's a perfect pitch to the outside of that corner.
And Kenny Hill, 43 passing yards, total of 63. Started out a very modest 3 out of 9. Here's Trey Williams, Martell Spate.
You know, one of the things that when we were talking to Kevin Sumlin about Kenny Hill was just what struck him about Kenny. Early in his career, used to frustrate him. He was so calm. He just would say, I almost had to tell him, wake up in practice. But then when they went to South Carolina and played on the road, he said, oh, this guy can play no matter what's going on around him.
Quick flip out into the flat, caught by Sabian Holmes, number 23. Well, that was a wake-up call for the country when a heavily favored South Carolina team fell 52-28. And Kenny Hill threw for 511 in that ball game.
This is such a big drive for Arkansas, obviously for A&M too. Arkansas, remember, gets the ball to start the second half. This is a huge drive for both teams, setting this pace for the second half.
How about that? Hill to Sabian Holmes, and it was kind of an off-balance throw.
Right, that was Johnny Manziel throwing that, wasn't it?
I think so.
I thought Martrell Spate tipped that ball, number 47, on the play. Let's see if he gets to get a hand on it. There he is, right in the middle. See if he gets his hand on this throw. Yes, he did deflect that ball and still caught.
It's a gain of 29 and a first down with 4:15 to go. Tie ball, game 14-all.
That was definitely a Johnny Manziel risky throw over the middle.
Complete again. Jeremy Tabuyo, young man out of Honolulu. Well, among those who is in attendance today, that guy got the hat backwards still. Johnny Manziel. Now with the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Second down and 4. Whoops. Trey Carson reverses his.
That was a great cutback by Trey Carson. I thought he was going to get handled outside and forced short of that, way short of that first down, but he cut back and made the play.
It will be 3rd and 1.
Watch Carson set up the blocks, go wide, no leverage, cut back inside, get all he can out of the play.
Darius Philon, number 91, actually kept him away from first down territory. 3rd and 1.
Oh, they moved again. They're going to get another 5-yard penalty.
And they have that rhino formation going.
Yeah, this
Prior
time.
to the snap, false start. Number 85, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Wow.
This time it was the right side. They took turns. The rhino formation has gotten 3 penalties so far in the game. Remember, boy, he was downfield on the touchdown. We had movement on the left and now movement on the right.
Third down. Two wides to the left, 2 to the right. Dropped.
Wow.
Josh Reynolds.
It was a great read. That's why you saw offensive coordinator Spavital say, great read. Uses his eyes to move the underneath coverage, throws a perfect throw, and Reynolds coughs it up. Ooh.
That brings on Josh Lambo, who became the kicker a year ago. He's been 14 of 16 since. He's perfect this year. 6 of 6, this from 40 to break the tie, and it is wide right.
Oh my. 3 mistakes in a row by A&M, right, Vern? 3rd and inches, they jump off sides. 3rd and 5, they drop a first down, and the field goal on 4th down, they miss it wide right. And now with the clock the way it is, and Arkansas getting the ball to start the second half, it's going to be a while before that A&M's offense gets out there unless Arkansas gives them an opportunity.
10 plays, 58 yards, no points. There's the movement right side. That was on 3rd and a yard.
Yep.
Here's Josh Reynolds. Oh, boy. And then Lambo's field goal, first miss of the season, and only the 3rd of his career. Now the Razorbacks tie game, 2:27 to go. Allen left, Hatcher, number 4, with the catch. DeShazer Everett Number 29 was in the neighborhood. That's a gain of 12.
The one time in the football game, and that game against Auburn, the one play that really hurt him was when Brandon Allen threw his only interception of the year. They were trailing 21-28. He threw a pick six to make it 35-21. It was really ball game. He has to be very careful right here.
That one thrown away. Little pressure from Myles Garrett. Well, let's go back to that Aflac trivia question. And we were talking about the 1964 national champions. The only All-American player on that 64 team, Ronnie Cavness. Lloyd Phillips, who was a defensive tackle, won the Outland Trophy 2 years later as the best lineman in America. Second down and 10. That one thrown out of bounds.
I gotta say, I'm shocked with this play calling. Shocked.
Are you?
Well, right now, if they don't get the first down, someone's going to take another timeout and get the ball back. I thought they'd grind it out and get to the half, take what they got on the ground, and live for a second half.
3rd and 10. Cody Hollister is wide to the right. Cornelius in the slot. 2 wides to the left side. Allen pumps, lets it go.
Oh, what a play.
Caught. Jared Cornelius. Gain of 15 on 3rd and 10.
Great protection, and I'll tell you one thing. A&M and Mark Snyder did not believe those big guys could pass block and hold up. He thought if he got him into the pocket, he could make plays against this offense on 3rd and long. Didn't happen.
First down 10. Allen tipped incomplete. Intended for Cornelius.
Yeah, Brandon Allen delivered his second good ball of the day. Again, 3-man rush, good job, no pressure, steps into it and delivers an absolute strike on the play and beats Burns on that. I don't think you could cover them much more than Devontae Burns did on that one.
Not at all. Second down 10. 87 seconds to go. Arkansas has 2 timeouts left. A&M all 3. Four-man rush for the Aggies. Allen steps up. Incomplete. Kendrick Edwards, who to our total surprise opened the game.
Yes.
Wearing number 6. As we had asked, is there anybody else? I'll get over it. Who might play?
It's usually, you would think, draws and screens here.
Okay.
But remember, Jim Chaney told us on the phone, if he was telling the truth, he does not think they're a good screen team because his offensive linemen do not do well in space.
Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator at Arkansas. 3rd and 10.
All out
blitz. Knocked down. That's Jordan Mastro Giovanni.
Mastro Giovanni almost picked that ball off. Mastro Giovanni catches the center's block and then backs up into the lane. You could see what the quarterback thinks. He thinks everyone's coming, and then he backs up and taps the play down with his left hand. Nice design by Mark Snyder on that play.
So the Aggies are going to get the ball back after the punt. Assumed punt. There's Mastro Giovanni.
That's a surprising series for me for Arkansas. I thought they would bang the ball. Really did.
And they got a lot of room to the left. Still up. Touchdown, Sam Irwin Hill.
Kevin Sumlin predicted it.
He did.
And this is an audible call. If you get the look, you go with it. And he obviously got the look. I don't even think Brett Bielema believed it would go for 6. But that is a gutsy call.
51 yards by the ambidextrous Australian. The punter from Bendigo, Australia. Take a look.
Four A&M players are lined up outside the center. Only 2 blockers, but the 2 blockers are positioned well. You seal the edge, and then you bring the big guys from behind around. It was like a sweep. And I don't think even Arkansas envisioned it working this well. Boy, Kevin Sumlin has to turn around and go, I told you guys.
51-yard touchdown on a fake punt. Hogs lead. We welcome you back to Arlington, Texas. Coming up, the Geico halftime report as we get deep into the 2014 college football season. 21-14 here, the Razorbacks on a 51-yard fake punt. It's a long way from Australia to Fayetteville. Promise you, there are no non-stops. John Henson will kick off. Sam Irwin Hill. With the touchdown. Short. Taken at 15. Cameron Clear. Well, Gary, let's take another look. This is a young man whose father taught him to kick when he was 5 years old because he wanted him to become an Australian rules football player. So many great punters out of Australia in the last decade or so, but in his dreams, especially when he got to the 15-yard line.
So now he's not only an ambidextrous kicker, he can run to the left or the right now too. He's got even more ambidextrous to him.
He's amphibious, for heaven's sake.
There you go.
Kenny Hill almost picked off. Trey Flowers, take a look.
Trey Flowers is such a great athlete. He reads the play. He actually reads the blocking technique in front of him. When he feels that he's going to get cut by the offensive lineman that time, he instantly thinks it's going to be a wide receiver screen and drops back right into the passing lane. All SEC preseason, first team, and he deserves it.
Second down 10. Exactly a minute to go, first half. Got it. Ricky Seals-Jones, number 9. That's his second catch of the ball game. And the Aggies will go quickly. 10 of 19 for 96.
Remember, all 3 timeouts, an explosive offense, but a freshman quarterback. What do you do? You're running.
Give it off to Trey Williams. They'll move the chain. Clock stop as they do so. A&M ready to go. They still do have all 3 timeouts, 45 seconds remaining. Behind the intended receiver, Malcolm Kennedy. Well, you've seen a couple of shots of Johnny Manziel on the sidelines. Through 4 games, his first 4 starts, you see his numbers to the right. And Kenny Hill's a few more passing yards, a few more touchdowns.
Johnny Manziel, remember he played that Florida team, though, early in his first 4 games. A tough football game. I think that tough matchup, but I think this is just a better all-around football team than what Manziel had.
Hill Deep. Man open.
Another
Dropped.
drop.
Same guy. Josh Reynolds. That's 2.
Man, it's hard to believe a guy gets this open and gets his hands backwards. He actually crossed his hands that time. Instead of catching it normal, look at his hands are backwards. If that makes any sense. He could have caught that ball, I thought, just by stretching both arms out and keeping his baby fingers together. That's how you're taught.
3rd and 10. 5 wides. Razorbacks have only 4 down.
Number 74, Affetti, struggling with Flowers. Let's see if he can handle him.
Oh, he did again. That one popped in the air. The hit on Sabian Holmes, causing the incomplete pass.
Yeah, Jermaine Affetti's having trouble with Flowers. He either goes around him, pushes back into the quarterback. Let's see this one. That ball was behind, not a good throw, and Sabian Holmes had no way of catching that one.
Rohan Gaines was the guy defending number 26, and now Drew Kaiser is on to punt. Nice one. Caught at the 16. DJ Dean. Thursday, your football week starts here when the Vikings and the Packers get black and blue. Another big-time matchup in prime time. Thursday night football on the NFL Network and CBS.
Eli Manning's given notice that he may play in all the games this year, huh? And do some stuff. Eli did a nice game Thursday.
Oh, did he ever? Yeah.
I know you watched that, right?
I did. As a matter of fact, start to finish.
I was teeing you up there.
I know you.
You do it to me all the time. I was going, okay.
Well, I wanted to see the pregame show.
Oh, okay.
And then I wanted to see the postgame show.
Go.
So I stayed with it, and I missed Derek Jeter. How's my life? The difference in the ball game, a 51-yard run for a touchdown on a fake punt.
Well, we tipped you off early, right, Vern, that they do like to fake. Kevin Sumlin told us one thing about Brett Bielema is he loves to run fakes on special teams, and even though he knew it, he didn't stop it.
Let's go down to Allie LaForce, who was with Brett.
Coach, the fake punt worked perfectly. What made you go for it?
I knew they'd kind of crowd in there trying to get a return game going. I thought we could get around the edge. Sam's a really good athlete, a lot of fun, but we came here to play a 4-quarter game, so the fun is still ahead.
You held the nation's highest scoring offense to just 14 points at the half. What's working defensively?
Well, I think we're doing what we do. Our guys understand the concepts. They understand the pace of play that we're supposed to line up and get our guys in position. But biggest thing is we're being aggressive. We're not really playing our football and we're getting penalized. We clean that up and we can take this one running.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
He's got a team built in his image. Run the ball on offense and keep it in front of you on defense. So far, so good.
That's the end of the first half with our score 21-14 Arkansas. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio.
All right, thank
We don't do it for the fame, we do it for the rain, we do it for the love of the game. Come on. When the sun comes up, we party down, we run that rock into the ground, everybody.
Williams at the 5, cuts back into the end zone, touchdown Arkansas. Hill, plenty of time, throws a bullet, and a nice catch, and it is a touchdown, and that's Edward Pope.
And they got a lot of room to the left. Still up. Touchdown, Sam Irwin Hill. And we welcome you back live inside AT&T Stadium in Arlington. 21-14. Arkansas leads it. Now let's go inside the headset, powered by AT&T, official sponsor of the SEC. Here's Allie.
Coach, the missed field goal and then Arkansas's fake punt, that was 2 tough ways to go into halftime. What did you tell your team about limiting those mental mistakes?
Well, you know, we've got to, we're just a little bit off offensively. Got to get some stops on defense. We're in this thing. I mean, we're all that, and we're down 1 touchdown. We just got to make some plays. We'll be all right.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thanks.
Allie, thank you. Taylor Bertolette will kick off. And Corliss Marshall, Keon Hatcher are the deep men. Bertolette. Marshall. He'll take a knee. Well, Gary, Kevin Sumlin made a very good point. They're very much in this thing.
They are, but you know, 3 critical mistakes at the end of that half.
Right.
The short yardage play, the drop pass, they could have done it, then the missed field goal, and then the special teams blunder. Remember we talked earlier about the left hand, who would win it?
Right.
Brandon Allen, and I don't see how A&M can win. Brandon Allen has thrown for more yards than Kenny Hill has, 97-96. I mean, that's a stat that A&M just can't live with. They're a passing spread team.
But ineffective so far today. First down 10 at the 25. Jonathan Williams, the running back, number 32. And delay of game to start the game. Now Brandon Allen is pleading his case with Tom Ritter.
I think he won.
I do too.
There is no foul for delay of game.
Because
I have a really funny line, but I'm not going to use it. I was going to say in the SEC, the play clock is just, it's not that funny. It's not that funny to Kentucky, I'll tell you that right now.
You want to rethink that?
Exactly.
First down is, it's funny in the booth.
Right.
Reverse.
Wow, funny. It was a
AJ
funny call.
Derby. Yeah, sure was. Howard Matthews, leading tackler on this Aggie defense, number 31.
The way Jim Chaney was able to just pick his running play and run between the tackles, he's gotten pretty fancy here at the end of the game. Excuse me, at the end of the half, at the beginning of the half. There's Jimmy. We go a long way back. He coached Drew Brees at Purdue.
You're both Purdue grads, right? No, he was a coach there.
Yes.
That's right. I knew there was a Boilermaker in his blood.
It looks like more than that. He's a buddy. I get to say that.
I know that. Well, we've dealt with him at a few coaching stops. Before here was at Tennessee.
See, there you go. I mean, Kenny has had a few drops that hurt those yardage. They could have been much bigger than that. And the running backs, you know, they combined, do that, Collins 88 yards. They were able to run the plays they wanted to. And the fake punt was really the difference. And the TD pass, you know, that was negated.
Keon Hatcher, bottom of the screen. Cody Hollister, wide to the right. Allen, a lot of time, and he overthrows. There's a little push in the back from Tavante Harris, and Allen said something about that looked illegal.
No idea. I know he was out of
Holding
bounds.
number 26.
Inside on the slot.
Defense.
Not even the man he was throwing to.
10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Gains on the slot. It happens right here in the middle. We all had our eyes on the ball as it was thrown, but in the slot. Was that on Kendrick Edwards again?
No, Devontae Burns.
Was it Burns?
Yeah, the nickelback. And so, 7th penalty against the Aggies, an automatic first down just outside the 30.
On 3rd and 15, too.
Yeah.
3rd and 15. Another one of those just self-inflicted wounds by A&M.
Collins doesn't get much at all. There's a lost helmet by Mastro Giovanni, the tackle by Julian Obioha. Young man from New Orleans. Obioha, really a special student athlete, very bright young man. Remember, we had a chance a couple of years ago to chat with him.
Yes. And that's the type of gang tackling, the stuff that line of scrimmage that Kevin Sumlin has to have for them to win this football game here in the second half.
Second down, 11. Aggies with 4 down. On the ground. Wow. Sean Washington was one of those. Alonzo Williams the other, who collaborated on the stop.
Sean Washington's going, I love this offense. In the nickel, I don't get to play. But against these guys, I get to play and make some tackles.
Third down, 8.
You can make the argument for the first time in the 2014 season, this is the first time that there's been pressure on the A&M defense. They got way ahead of South Carolina. Can they get a stop? Last third down, penalty. Can they do it here?
Statistically, they are improved over a year ago. But a year ago, this defense was less than splendid. Allen goes right, incomplete, 3rd, 4th down. And the Aggies do make the stop.
Miles Garrett, the true freshman, is the guy that came around the corner that time, number 15, to put pressure. Gets inside, keeps coming to the inside to the hip, and he had Big Dan Skipper on him, but he could not control him. Good pressure by Garrett, a great stop by the A&M defense.
Well, here's Sam Irwin Hill out of Australia. He has provided the difference in the score with a 51-yard fake punt touchdown run. And here's his punt. Nick Harvey is the deep man.
Oh, you got to catch that one. That's a gamble to let that thing go.
11:46 to go. That's a 48-yard punt. Nothing on the return. The Southwest Classic. That's a reference to both of these teams having come from the old Southwest Conference. Kenny Hill.
Yes, you know, mixed results. He threw the ball well short, but over the middle of the field, forced a couple, had a couple good ones. There was one of them for a touchdown, but had a couple key drops. And those drops really kind of took this A&M offense and made it not what they're used to. Look at the way the ball has been distributed. Behind the line of scrimmage, 4 out of 5. 0 to 10, and most of those were under 5 yards. 4 for 5, but when he threw the ball downfield, only 2 for 12.
I'll see how he responds now with the ball for the first time. 3rd quarter, little flip out to the left. That's Trey Carson. Got something out of not much of an opportunity.
Yeah, looks like there's another flag down.
Well, Brooks Ellis seems to feel it will go against the Aggies.
During the run, holding number 18, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay first down.
Edward Pope, who has a touchdown catch in this game and now held on to something other than the football.
That is the jersey of Tevin Mitchell was all distorted, and it was a pretty easy call from the back judge there.
Up the middle, Carson. Darius Philon, number 91, with the tackle.
Talking to Kevin Sumlin and Coach Spavital, the offensive coordinator, I said, you know, a lot of pressure. Kenny Hill has to do it every week. And he goes, yeah, but we've already completed 35 passes behind the scrimmage. Remember, that's a run game for us.
Deep, and he's got a man open, and it's caught. Edward Pope. Oh, for the lack of balance. It would have been 6. It's 50 yards as it stands.
False step by the safety right there. Watch him take one false step, and it costs the play. He thinks it's a square in. Watch him step, and then he steps and he's gone. Once you take a step in, you cannot turn around fast enough.
And this one is overthrown behind the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Malcolm Kennedy. 2nd down 10.
One of the things that Rob Smith, the new defensive coordinator for Arkansas, really stresses in the up-tempo is get lined up on defense and don't look at the sidelines. Look at the formation. They give away tells if you get lined up fast enough.
Toss to the right. Oh, boy. Trey Williams wants a horse collar.
Was it a horse collar or not?
There's no flag. He reacted as if there was a violent horse collar. Let's take a look.
No, it was the back of the head that he got.
Yeah.
I don't think that was horse collar.
Nope.
Good, no call.
Darius Philon. It'll be 3rd down. 3rd and 7. Arkansas showing blitz. Here's the change.
Arkansas does shift out of their defenses if they feel A&M is audibling.
Hill got him. Ricky Seals-Jones, he's short of the 1st down.
Now what does Sumlin do? Does he go for the 4th and short?
They've gone for it on 4th down 3 times this year. They have been successful on all 3. And they will go for the 1st down here.
And will they do the option play? They love to run the option in this situation.
Trey Williams is the running back, number 3. Williams checks with Kenny Hill to make sure he's got the call. Left side, tipped and incomplete. Alan Turner, number 27. And the ball goes over on downs.
Quick out. Well covered, and I think that was the key. Vern, you had it. Well covered. This ball was almost impossible to get in there. The hand was out there. Turner had it. If it would have thrown any more inside, it would have been knocked down. Any more outside, couldn't have caught it. Great defense by Arkansas.
We welcome you back inside and outside AT&T Stadium, this splendid facility just off Interstate 30, home of the Dallas Cowboys and a number of outstanding college games played here.
Yeah.
Well, 21-14 over on downs.
And again, as Allie talked to Kevin Sumlin coming out for the 2nd half, just off a little bit from big plays. And that's what happened on the long pass. We'll show you.
Here's the toss. Alex Collins, who's got the longest run. Let's go back to that pass to Edward Pope.
As Allie was saying, Kevin said to Allie, excuse me, watch Pope as he gets back there and watch the potential for the big play that again was just off by a couple yards. When he passes the defender right there, okay, this should be touchdown. Now, you catch this ball and keep running, there's no one else on the field. That's touchdown, but just off a bit, and they get 0, no points.
Not the first time they've gotten nothing out of a drive. 2nd down and 5. Collins looks for the opening, finds it, surges, 1st down. Well, we were talking at the very beginning of the day about the contrast in styles. I mean, totally ends of the spectrum, and so far the power game is beating the passing game.
And the passing game is beating themselves.
Yeah.
A&M has opportunities. They're not connecting on the opportunities.
Arkansas has now rushed for 204 yards in the ballgame. 1st down 10. Pre-snap whistle. Tried the reverse.
Prior to the snap, false start on the left guard. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
That is Sebastian Tretola. He's had a interesting path. to the starting spot for Arkansas. Played at Nevada for a couple of years. He lacked the academics to continue there, so he enrolled in Iowa Western Community College. Got his degree hours up and transferred in. Now a starter for the Razorbacks. Checked in here weighing 370 pounds. Lost a couple. Play action. Allen. Got him open.
Great adjustment by Keon Hatcher that time. It was supposed to be a hook over the middle. It wasn't there, so he slid to the inside. Exactly what you're supposed to do. Not there. Watch, he's there. Just keep sliding into the open space.
Injured player is DeShazer Everett, number 29. And that's where the injury occurred.
Hey. It was almost a helmet-to-helmet hit, even without trying to do it, basically. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, that's one of the things that I would suggest about the rules going forward. You're never going to, Vern, be able to stop the offensive players with the ball from ducking their head. But what I propose is when the offensive player ducks his head, the whistle should blow and stop the play right there. Because, see, they lower the head a lot of times, and the defensive player has to go low. They should understand that that was caused by the offensive player. And I understand you're not going to take them from doing that, but if you're going to call the defense for not being able to go low and hit with the helmet, you can't allow the offensive guy to do it, and maybe the whistle can be blown as a dead ball right when he does it.
Everett, good to see, is in a sitting position. That's an interesting thought. Have you
Oh, well, I've told everybody I know, but most of those people I know golf and stuff like that.
I thought you were a man of more influence than that.
Yes, right.
I was
Everybody
mistaken.
in my golf group agrees with me.
Oh, the old Geezers group down there in Bonita Springs. One more look at this.
Hatcher ducks down, and then as he's falling down, he knows, Everett knows he's hurt right when the contact is made.
You bet. Oh, it's a welcome sight.
That was a big play, by the way, by Arkansas. Brandon Allen really maneuvered the pocket well there. Hatcher felt the defense. That again, Brandon Allen, remember, he was brought in to run a high-flowered Petrino passing offense. And he's now moving into understanding how difficult it is to only throw the ball 20, 24 times a game rather than 50 times a game.
Nick Harvey has replaced Everett DeShazer at the quarterback spot.
I think the extra tackles in the game, too.
First down. Jonathan Williams, number 32. Well, it's not Darren McFadden and Felix Jones yet, but these two young men are pretty good, aren't they?
Well, they are. I mean, Alex Collins and Jonathan Williams, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to top those two guys. I broke in the league with you in 2006 and 7 when they were putting those stats up. But in their own way, they are rolling up the yards.
Nice fake. An outlet pass to A.J. Derby. Well, 2006, that was Gary, and that was our first year working together. Boy, were they a pair. Here's McFadden.
Remember, that was the first year we saw the Wildcats.
That's right. And here's Felix Jones.
Drafted right here by Jerry Jones, by the way, with the Cowboys.
An Arkansas grad. And by the way, the Cowboys are at home tomorrow night against the New Orleans Saints in this building. Second down and 4. Corliss Marshall now, the change of pace back. He's the speediest of them all. He gets the handoff. Nice.
The last
nice
move
tackle
was wrong.
too.
Yep.
Yeah. Devontae Harris made the stop.
Bounces it out. Now get up and make the first down. The last move to the outside is what hurt him, and now it creates 3rd and a yard and a half. And remember, This is when the head coaches have to decide whether they're going to go for it on 4th down. Right now on 3rd down, Brett Bielema's talking to Jim Chaney, his offensive coordinator, says, I'm going to give you 2 pops at it.
Alex Collins, the running back. Play fake. Allen looks deep, wide open. A.J. Derby, touchdown.
They only needed 1 pop.
A year ago, A.J. Derby was the backup quarterback. He was a transfer. He spent a couple of years at Iowa. He was a non-scholarship transfer. He's gone from backup quarterback to a 2 tight end operation. He's been put on scholarship, by the way. Brandon Allen. A.J. Derby, whose hometown is Iowa City.
Let's go back to the theme. Brett Bielema told Chaney, Vern, that I'm going in on 4th down. So do what you want on 3rd down because I'm going to let you go for it on 4th down. A.J. Derby's dad, by the way, was a linebacker at Iowa and played behind Brett Bielema as he plays nose tackle. Well, he hides the ball here and he pays back his old buddy John Derby with a touchdown for A.J.
He beat Devontae Harris. Whoa, did he beat him. A.J. Derby. Brandon Allen. Arkansas by 14. (28-14), 5:02 to go, 3rd quarter. That was the 3rd touchdown this afternoon on 3rd down for the Razorbacks. The other was on 4th down. That, of course, the fake punt. Adam McFain will kick off. It's Trey Williams awaiting it, along with Speedy Noyle. So you've got number 3 and number 2 back here. And this will be number 3 at the 1. Let's take another look at the play action pass on 3rd down.
Again, 3rd and 1. You're probably going to go for it on 4th and 1. A.J. does a great job of selling it. Allen does a great job of selling it. He does a Boomer Esiason. Puts it right behind his back. Remember old Boomer used to do that? Just like that. Only Boomer threw it left-handed. But that's a perfect throw. And the missed opportunity by A&M when they had Pope wide open.
Right.
Compared to this one, you convert it. When you have your opportunities, it's 3 for 3 on play action passes.
Kenny Hill. Well, Kenny Hill, that was interesting. Kevin Sumlin talking about his quarterback. Said a year ago his demeanor, because he would yawn, almost fall asleep in meetings. He said that's just the way he is. He's very quiet.
And Jake Spavital said, I don't know if he's really had any adversity yet as the big guy. Trey Flowers reads it again, doesn't he?
That is the 7th pass broken up today for Arkansas.
And Trey Flowers has done 2 of them from the defensive line, a la J.J. Watt, who Brett had at Wisconsin, by the way.
You're right.
Yep.
3rd and 4. Out of the backfield. Williams, 1st down plus. Can't quite break the tackle of Brooks Ellis.
Let's give one to Malcolm Kennedy. Slot receiver did his job to the right side of the screen. Watch him blocking downfield, makes the play. Also to the wide side, Josh Reynolds does a good job of blocking. That was basically a run pass. Threw it out to the flat, to the backfield behind the line of scrimmage.
Up the middle. Williams. Oh, they're claiming the ball came out. There's no indication by the official. And if he doesn't indicate it, it didn't happen.
Right. Tom Ritter signaling that Arkansas has an opportunity to substitute because Trey Carson has came into the game. He holds both arms out to the side. Arkansas elects not to.
Hill. Caught by Josh Reynolds. And that's an A&M first down. Marshall Spate had 7 tackles at the half. And here they go with the hurry up.
Yeah, you can almost feel it. The game is shifting to the wide receivers for A&M. Yards after catch, throw it to them early, try to get them to run in space.
Toss left side. Trey Carson, no. Dietrich Wise, number 48, with that tackle.
Well, I tell you, between Wise and Flowers, 48 and 86, they're bookending this offense. They're doing a great job on both sides, and these are 2 elite tackles. Aboyehi and Afedi are both elite, and they are actually winning a lot of battles here.
Second down and 14 after the loss. Here's the reverse. Malcolm Kennedy chased. Not much room. Knocked out of bounds by Martrell Spate. That's at least 9 tackles for Spate now.
I think Dietrich Wise, number 48, did a good job of forcing it wide. 78, Bijan Jackson forced it wide. And then, as Vern told you, Spate cleans it up.
And a 3rd and 17 coming up. Spate has 11 tackles. Fake down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Kennedy. Aggies wanted the flag. There is none thrown.
I'll tell you, Alan Turner, that time number 27 for Arkansas, the safety, pattern read this. He jumped on it, read the quarterback's eyes or something, but he actually beat the receiver to the spot. Watch down here. Something's going to pop in, I believe, right at the end of this pass. Yes, actually beats Malcolm Kennedy to the spot.
Andrew Kaiser's punt. DJ Dean waves everybody away from it. It goes out of bounds at the 19. 38-yard punt, nothing on the return. Arkansas leads by 14. 28-14, Arkansas leads. Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athletes. First up, I beg your pardon, Alan D'Apollonio, the long snapper with a double major, political science and international studies, just named a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy by the National Football Foundation. And also today we honor Josh Lambo, a dual major in ecosystem science and management, a 2013 SEC honor roll, and a goalkeeper for 4 years in the MSL for the FC Dallas Club.
A lot of letters there.
First down 10. Play clock at 1. They do get it snapped. Collins. That was Alonzo Williams. Well, let's check in once again with Allie LaForce. Allie?
You guys, just a quick injury update on Shazer Everett. He's back on the field right now, but he's still in a lot of pain. Just moments ago, he was sitting on the bench going through shoulder exercises as the trainer was working him through some drills, and the face he was making every time the trainer touched his shoulder gave me the indication that he was still in a lot of pain. They gave him some medicine, though, and he's going to try to shake it off and play this next series.
All right, Allie, thank you. It's 28-14. We near the end of quarter number 3. Collins now over 100 yards, 14 runs, 105. Play action. That one took off. The catch is made. Henry Hunter. Now let's go back to the studio for this Ford update. Adam?
Well, there's got to be a big from this A&M defense.
Oh.
They badly need a stop right here. What will Mark Snyder do? Will he blitz? Doesn't look like it.
Not on this play. They do stunt in the middle. Allen. Oh, dear. Hunter Henry.
It's the one guy, Mark Snyder, in our phone call. I said, what do you think of their receivers? He said, they're good. They're good SEC receivers. He said, any of them elite? The tight end, number 84. We're going to have a tough matchup with him. He's big, he's strong, he maneuvers, and he's tough to guard one-on-one. What a nice target for a quarterback to throw the ball to.
And that was a gain of 17, and it brings to a close quarter number 3. It was 21-14 at the half. The difference then was a 51-yard punt return on a fake. Arkansas gets the only points of quarter number 3. We'll return after this message. We welcome you back. Arkansas leading 28-14. That deficit has not diminished the Aggie spirit. Well, what's at stake here for Arkansas? They've lost 10 against top 25 opponents. They've not won in the SEC since 2012. They had only 3 wins in all of last season. They're looking for their 4th, and they lead 28-14 as we begin the final quarter. Jonathan Williams spins, still up, down at the 1.
He's coming back, I think.
Flag at the 45. Could negate a 57-yard run.
Remember, already 1 touchdown for Arkansas has been negated on the short yardage play. What was the call this time? A beautifully designed
personal
play.
foul, tripping, number 76, offense. 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
Dan Skipper.
Yeah, it's hard not to be seen when you're 6'10". Everything you do out there gets seen. A well-designed play. It was, I remember, a fake reverse off the pitch. All right, here he is right here. Let's see if we can see what happened. He goes, and then he lifts his leg up as he slides by. Once he lifted his leg up, that was the call.
Yep. And again, pretty obvious. And it becomes, instead of 1st and goal at the 1, 1st and 23 at the 30.
Yeah. Well, it better be a stop now for A&M. They're the number 6 team in the country. You've got 1st and long.
Collins.
If you're going to have a chance to come back in this game, down 2 touchdowns, you're in the 4th quarter, you've got an Arkansas team that does not like to go long yardage offense. They want to keep the chains, 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 2. This is not what their offense does well. The A&M defense has to now make the play.
Questions about this Aggie defense a year ago. Statistically, they have improved.
Well, yeah, they played.
But look who they played.
Exactly. I mean, South Carolina, they had that game. They got way ahead, and I thought, because of the injury to Davis, Steve kept chucking the ball. No running game.
Fake the draw, goes deep right side, man open, overthrows him. Intended for Keon Hatcher. Well, not to demean the opposition, but I guess to demean the opposition. They've defeated South Carolina, Lamar, Rice, and SMU, the Aggies.
I think it was, as Vern said, not the amount of competition. They almost could do anything they want. I think it was Ivan Robinson that forced the throw just a bit early by Allen. He could feel the pressure and really didn't get time to take dead aim.
3rd and 19. And remember, a 57-yard run to the 1. Wiped out by the tripping call. Hand off Collins. And Arkansas will punt.
Well, for A&M, they got their break.
Right.
It was tripping. I doubt if that guy could have made the play to stop it. However, it was tripping. A&M, you got your break. Now you're down 14. You're supposed to have a prolific offense. Now's the chance to show why you're the 6th ranked team in the country.
Sam Irwin-Hill is on to punt. Nick Harvey, the true freshman, is back to return. Harvey will let it bounce.
I was going to say, he got away with that earlier, and that time he wasn't, and he had to jump on it.
49-yard punt. Harvey did a belly flop. But the Aggies do get a stop, and they have the football, trailing by 14.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Both teams scored on their opening possessions of this football game. First up, it was the Aggies. Brandon Williams with a 13-yard rushing touchdown, A&M by 7. But Arkansas countered right away. Williams, 32, tied at 7. And then Collins, this is a great play. Look at that move. And then the race to the corner that put the Hogs up 14-7. Aggies came back to tie it. Beautiful catch. Edward Pope deep in the end zone off the Kenny Hill pass. Tied at 14. And then on 4th down, here was Sam Irwin-Hill. A 51-yard rushing touchdown on the fake punt. And at halftime, Arkansas led 21-14. The only score in the 4th quarter was this play-action pass. Derby caught it from Brandon Allen. And so here we are at 28-14. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce down on the sidelines. Impressions?
Well, the same trend has happened for A&M in the second half. They're hitting the short passes. They're missing the long ones. Even the long one they hit, the guy falls down after he catches it. But it's a football game. And Kevin, someone's telling his offense right now, come on, guys. It's not going to be easy. Let's put one on the board. Let's put the pressure back on Arkansas and see who can finish the game.
And so we will,
Yeah, and A&M feels they're more used to finishing the games off than Arkansas. As you pointed out, they haven't won a game in the SEC in 13 tries.
Trey Williams, number 3, good defense. And the big play offensively in this half was the trip.
Yeah, it could be the play of the game, really, because look and think about the score if they'd have put another touchdown on. Washington actually never even falls down on the play. Oh, he trips him the second time. He would have got away with the first one, but not the second one. Great look from the truck, guys.
Here's Ken Hill, deep down the middle, and he's got him wide open. Edward Pope, the defender fell down. The Aggies have scored on an 87-yard touchdown pass.
How fast things can change. If not for a raised leg, it's a 3-touchdown game. Now it's a 7-point game.
But you know, the official got it right.
Absolutely did. We kept wondering what the call was until we watched it one more time.
Extra point is up and good. It's a 7-point game with 1 second less than 12 minutes to go.
Well, Jared Collins, it's okay to get beat. You can get beat, but you got to stay up and make the tackle. They're playing combo coverage to the outside, inside slot by the safety. You're all alone. Keep your feet. Don't fall down. He stumbles, he falls, and this time, Pope does not.
Kenny Hill, the author of an 87-yard pass. And a little dejection on the Arkansas bench. We welcome you back to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, the Southwest Classic. And a huge play. Edward Pope with the catch, Kenny Hill with the throw, Jared Collins, the defender, who tripped and fell. And just like that, it's a 7-point game again.
It's hard to finish a game. It's almost, you do this in golf. You get that lead, it's hard to get to that 18th hole and finish it out, isn't it? I mean, these wins in this conference are like gold. A&M has one over South Carolina, but unless they get this one today, it's going to really make that seem a lot different.
Here's Taylor Bertolette, Corliss Marshall from the 5. Remember, he had a 97-yarder. Oh, he almost got a bunch more. Well, we all look forward to our SEC Game of the Week on CBS. Our traveling group is moving to Oxford to take on Alabama at Ole Miss. Number 3 versus number 10. It'll begin next Saturday inside college football at Auto Trader College Football at 3 o'clock Eastern. That will be an enjoyable trip.
Yeah, I was going to say contrasting styles, but I don't know anymore the way Alabama throws the ball around now.
Alex Collins is the running back, 28-21. Collins goes left. Nothing there.
Yep.
DeShazer Everett injured about 10 minutes ago.
And what did we talk about? To stop the running game, it's going to have to be the safeties and the corners. Corner blitz this time. DeShazer Everett gets inside Cornelius number 1 and makes the play. You do not have enough bodies with all the different angles with those wide receivers playing tight. They have so many different lanes to block that the secondary must help on the run game.
Second down 12. Left side. How about this? Back-to-back great defensive plays. That one led by Alonzo Williams, the first man there. Number 83, and then Sean Washington was number 2.
I think it was right there, 83, yes. Fights off the block that time from Hunter Henry. Stuffs it and makes the play.
Now here's your basic third down and 12.
It's funny how fast a game can shift, and it'll shift 3 more times, minimum, in the remainder of this game. Let's see if A&M can get some pressure on the quarterback. They felt they could win on third down passing plays.
Inside, it's good, but it is short of the first down. Cody Hollister, his first catch today. Aggie defense holds. 4th and 4.
Just what the doctor ordered for Kevin Sumlin and A&M. A big pass followed by a 3-and-out.
Speed Oil, number 2, the freshman out of New Orleans, is back. Sam Irwin Hill. Taken at the 25. And he's dragged down. They're going to give him forward progress, perhaps. It's going to be at the 25-yard line. Alan Turner, number 27. That's a 39-yard punt. Nothing on the return. How about this battle? Back in a moment. Well, the national championship game this year will be played on this field in this stadium. And here's the AP top 10. Look at number 6, A&M trailing by 7.
And remember, a year ago at this time, Auburn wasn't even in the top 10.
Good
Still
point.
Plenty of time.
First down 10, Aggies. 9:34 to go. Kenny Hill, handoff. Trey Carson, number 21. Out to the 32 or 3-yard line.
Carson just follows the big guy, Garrett Grambling, number 78, gets downfield and makes a real positive play. Both offenses were, doing the same strategy. Throw short and then throw a bomb for A&M. Run short and throw a bomb for Arkansas.
Carson. First down. Well, a very modest first half for Kenny Hill. Remember, he started off 3 of 9. And much better statistically in this half. There's Carson again.
Yeah, that one's coming back now.
A flag, yep.
I think Cameron Clear, number 85, is going to get grabbed on this, get called on this one for holding.
During the run, holding number 85, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Here's Cameron over here matched up. Puts his arms to the outside and turns them. It kind of lets you do that if you got your arms inside and turn them. They're not going to let you take your arms wide and do it.
After the penalty, first down and 20. Hill dances up, goes deep, got a man down there. It is picked off, intercepted. Carroll Washington.
What's the phrase Rob Smith and Brett Bielema preach? Catch the ones they throw you. Just catch the ones you have an opportunity. They've missed one that they could have had early. But this one, a late throw over the middle, man-to-man coverage to the outside. He knows he's got them all by himself. He takes them, cuts inside, and this time defends it. Wonderful job by number 21, Carroll Washington.
First interception of the season for Washington. Kenny Hill in despair right now. 28-21 Razorbacks. Couple of news and notes. College football here in the SEC on CBS. Dylan Day of Mississippi State suspended by the SEC for 1 game. Mark D'Antonio, a quote, "My vision is that you should be the champion of your league before you can be the champion of the country." And Brett Hundley on Thursday night, brilliant night. 355 throwing, 72 running, 62-27 with the UCLA win at Arizona State. First down 10, Arkansas, a 7-point lead. Jonathan Williams, the running back on this series, or at least for this play. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts.
As you look at Mark Snyder, the defensive coordinator for A&M, this is a team, Vern, that lost 3 first-round draft picks. Jake Matthews, Mike Evans, Johnny Manziel. And when I asked Mark Snyder, what's the biggest difference in your team? He says, we have depth in the defensive line. He says, we will be able to play in the 4th quarter this year when we weren't be able to do it last year. That first series, that last series, they showed that by stopping a 3-and-out. Can they still have the fresh legs to do it again?
Second down 6. There's the fake toss. Allen, sidearm, comes near.
The defense.
Hunter Henry, it was indeed DeShazer Everett again, number 29. And that sets up a 3rd down. 7:35 to go in the ball game.
Well, remember in this situation last time, they went to Hunter Henry, the matchup. He worked his way free, and Allen's eyes went to his big tight end as soon as he dropped back. Will it be a passing down or a running down? 3rd and 3. Line up as a spread passing down. Here's the big tight end.
Allen pumps. Tries to direct it. And he has to throw it away. That was a coverage.
I think that there was a bust. I think
really?
Hunter Henry did not know the play. I wonder if he got dinged on the play before. Allen was ready to throw the ball to the tight end. Watch. He goes out. The ball is going to go to him. Allen's ready to throw, and he's just jogging off. He doesn't stay with his route, and I think Allen got confused by that technique by Henry. Just look at him talking to him right there. He thought he'd post up in front of the guy.
Second straight 3 and out.
Yeah, they faked the 4th down play. At least, remember, number 11, as Vern told you earlier, is the backup quarterback from a year ago. That would have been a gamble. 4th and 3.
So the Aggies call time. 6:51 remaining. Second 3 and out by the A&M defense. Apparently they'll get the ball back. 28-21, we are back in what is called the Southwest Classic, a reference to the many years that Arkansas and A&M spent in the old Southwest Conference. Look at Arkansas in this stadium. They've defeated the Aggies 3 times. The other game was a win over Kansas State. The point differential 36. And I must say, as a kid I used to be one,
right,
and I grew up watching the old Southwest Conference teams. This is very nostalgic to see these two, now very proud members of the SEC. But boy, they meant a lot to a conference that meant a lot to a lot of us. Fair catch at the 30-yard line. And stay tuned for the Dodge postgame show on CBS Sports. 6:44 remaining. Aggies trying to go 5-0 for the first time since 2001. That's when Kevin Sumlin was an assistant to wonderful coach R.C. Slocum at Texas A&M. And Arkansas trying to break a 13-game SEC losing streak. They've been wandering in the desert for a couple of years. High snap, handoff up the middle. Trey Carson, about 3.
So if you're Jake Spavital, you're calling plays, 6 minutes to go here, you're likely only going to get the ball 2, maybe 3 more times.
Right.
Okay. So as you run the ball here and you bleed the clock, if you don't score a touchdown, things will get really tight for you to get the ball back. See if they open it up.
Hill, flag.
Timeout. Arkansas, that is their first charge timeout of this half.
So there was no flag. Each team now with 2 times. Kevin Sumlin, 3rd year at A&M. Tonight on CBS begins with the new hit dramas Madam Secretary, followed by Scorpion, and then the season premiere of 48 Hours tonight. Only CBS.
I think Arkansas was confused with the way that A&M substituted. These two guys are running off the field, and Arkansas thinks it's a formation. They start to shift around and then figure out that, wait a second, we're misaligned, so they take a timeout.
Back to play now. 6:14 remaining in regulation. 2nd down and 7. Kenny Hill takes off. It'll be 3rd and 3. Tackle made by Martell Spate.
Well, A&M's defense stepped up since the penalty. 9 plays for Arkansas, 15 yards. Now it's time to win a game in the SEC West. Now the Arkansas defense has to make their play.
Again, stunts. This one's high and incomplete. Intended for Ricky Seals-Jones.
Yeah, and too far to go for it here unless they fake the punt. A real short crossing route, only maybe behind the line of scrimmage. Really didn't have much of an angle in the lane to throw it, and had to throw it high.
You're right. Now that big offensive tackle kind of impeded the sight line between the two.
He could have done one of those Matthew Stafford side armors, you know, where he throws it around the guy, but that coming over the top there didn't work.
You know what? He's not Matthew Stafford.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet, exactly. Nice and high. That's fairly short. And it does take, well, a neutral bounce.
That actually went above the screen. As I was watching it here, the ball actually went up into the picture.
It's a modest jumbotron, don't you think?
Well, I have a little bit of envy for that, to tell you the truth. I wanted a telestrator that big.
Yeah, well, I got it. Seniority does have his virtue.
You got it.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Well, as I said, since the touchdown was called back, 9 offensive plays for 15 yards. The fresh bodies that Mark Snyder talked about in the defensive line, will they do it again?
Handoff left side, big hole. And a first down from Jonathan Williams.
See, that's what this Arkansas offensive line is used to doing, is wearing down the defense. But the recruiting has changed in this league. Because of the up-tempo offenses, teams are getting more defensive linemen. They're rotating 8, 9, 10 defensive linemen now to keep them fresh. A big change than what it was even 3 or 4 years ago when they used to play maybe 6 guys.
First down 10, clock under 5. And the Razorbacks holding a 7-point edge. Frank Ragnow is now the center. Here's a nice run and a knee. Oh, wow! Wow! Williams across the 50.
I think it was Armani Watts, 23, that had the tackle, and then he spun through it. It was Watts. And Armani Watts is getting baptized. This is what the SEC used to be like 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Now it's turned into a little bit more of a spread game. He's been very good playing free safety against the pass, but learning to tackle these big tailbacks is going to be the next step in the process for Armani Watts.
Back-to-back first down runs for Arkansas. And the clock now at 4:11. Huge hole. Alex Collins. That's 3 runs in excess of 10 yards.
Skipper, Trottola, Mitch Smothers, Kirkland, and Cook. They're starting to make their presence felt. Great block by Bray Cook, number 74, on the second level to clear that run.
3:52 to go.
Sometimes you can be fresh and just get blocked.
On first down 10, 3:35 remaining.
They're going to bleed it all the time inside 4, 5. Oh,
fumble again.
Snap.
That's twice.
Yes, and that hurts because that's tough with the chains now. They were able to run the ball. A&M's going to take a timeout right here. And that was a little bit, I'm going to call that one on Brandon Allen that time. Center was going straight ahead. I thought he pulled out a little bit too fast that time. Mitch Smothers, I think, got it up there fine.
Well, the Aggies have missed some chances.
Yes, and started out with self-inflicted backs going the wrong way, drop passes, receiver adjusting and not properly. Even when they have a touchdown, they catch it and fall down. And then when they have a chance one-on-one, the ball is not led enough to the middle of the field and give Arkansas a chance to pick it up. Off. So, 1 timeout left in the game with A&M. But that drop snap changes it completely here for Arkansas. And that's why Kevin Sumlin took that timeout.
Second down 12. Jonathan Williams is the running back. Aggies have 1 timeout left. Williams.
Yeah, see, now it's going to be 3rd and 6 or 7, where had they, you know, that should have been on first down. It should be 2nd and 6 or 7 right now. What do? Do you run it straight ahead, hope you can kick a field goal and make it a 10-point game?
About to find out. Under 3. Alex Collins. And he's got a blocking back in front. That's Patrick Arines. Left side. No, 4th down. 2:35 to go.
Boy, they just lined up. They lined up in a goal line offense here. They were not going to turn this ball over. They ran basically a play that most teams would run from the 2-yard line.
Aggies have used their final timeout. 28-21, 2:34 to go.
Well, this all looks great if they kick the field goal and make the field goal.
John Henson, excuse me, Gary, is the field goal kicker.
Or will they go for it on 4th down?
Well, we've seen them do that once already, and that decision is the difference in the ball game now. That was late 2nd quarter. A 51-yard fake punt for a TD.
You know what they might try to do is go out there and try to draw them offside. No, they're going to go field goal. They make this field goal, they feel they can win the football game.
He's not a candidate for the Jan Stenerud Award. It's 4th down. He's 2 for 3 this year.
There they go. They're going to try to draw him off sides and then take a timeout. You watch. They did take a timeout.
Yep. And that was Henson. So Arkansas has 1 timeout left. 4th and 6. We'll be right back. We're back. 28-21. 4th down.
Before we get to the field goal, let's go back to that fumbled snap on 1st down. Arkansas had the backup center in, Frank Ragnow. I missed it. Going back and look at it, they've got the number 2 center in Ragnow, and that was what led to the quarterback center exchange problem. 44 yards.
And John Henson kicks it. It's going to be wide left. Aggies have a chance.
Missed it by a mile.
And a half.
Yes.
Nope.
He almost missed the screen. I think he did.
So 2:29 to go. A&M out of timeouts, trailing by 7.
And you can throw, remember, it's 4-down territory. This stresses the defense so much. They can throw short all the way down the field.
Caught by Ricky Seals-Jones, number 9. That's good for a 1st down. Clock will stop while they move the chain. Gain of 14.
Don't even have to be in a hurry here.
3 wide left, 2 wide right. 4-man Arkansas rush. Wide open. Oh my gosh. Josh Reynolds. Touchdown Aggies. It is, Gary, as you said, so tough to finish.
Well, to finish these games, just keep playing. I've said that for 20 years doing this. Just keep playing. It's a long game.
Josh Lambo for the tie. Connor McQueen with the hold.
And
It's 28 all.
Every mistake in the fourth quarter is magnified. A fumbled snap changes the down and distance. And then Rohan Gaines, number 26, takes a bad angle. Reynolds steps in, takes it, and doesn't fall down. We got a tie game.
Who'd have thunk it? Tied at 28. The Aggies will now kick off. Second two-play drive in the game. That one took 21 seconds. Kenny Hill, 59 yards. And looking directly into the sunlight, Corliss Marshall. Keon Hatcher is also back. Here's Bertolette. At the 3, it's Marshall. He's down. Well, you think of Arkansas as a pounded out. 6-minute drives or longer, 6. But look how many they've had in a minute or less.
Well, they don't want one in a minute or less now.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, they had a situation similar to this at the end of the first half, and they did not handle it well. They went shotgun, and it didn't work. Let's see if they have a different strategy at this point in time. No, they're going to go shotgun.
Frank Ragnow is still the center, low snap. Handoff. Jonathan Williams out to the 26, second down and 4, under 2 to go. Arkansas can stop the clock once.
And that's the good news. The bad news is their kicker's long field goal on the year is 25 yards.
Second and 4. Low snap again. Allen being chased, lets it go, it's incomplete. Third down. Sean Washington giving chase to Brandon Allen.
Frank Ragnow in there again, number 72, back-to-back bad snaps on the shotgun. A&M could get this ball back. They were 1 first down, Arkansas was, of running out the clock and winning the game, and A&M might end up with 2 possessions.
Third down 4.
I'm surprised they didn't run both the last 2 plays. They're going to run it here, aren't they?
Yeah, no, play action. Oh my gosh, it was read perfectly by Howard Matthews. He went for the hit instead of the pick.
You could see it coming. I said, uh-oh, because Matthews had this one nailed the whole way. He was playing pass, and he was playing Hunter Henry.
And so, fourth down. Howard Matthews. Now Sam Irwin-Hill is on to punt. The deep man is the freshman, Speedy Noil, N-O-I-L. Return is on all the way. Hang on. Flag on the far side. Ooh.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense. Number 27. It's a 5-yard penalty.
It's very possible that A&M's going to end up with this ball inside the 50-yard line.
Yes, it is. It was Alan Turner who moved somewhere. There it is, yeah. Fourth and 9.
Oh, good one. Best of the day.
Fair catch. Noil inside the 25. They will mark the spot of the ball at the 25. 54-yard punt. Nothing on the return. 1:18 to go.
It's so hard to win a football game, isn't it? For Arkansas. Remember, just a year ago, they thought they had LSU at the end of the football game. And a 99-yard drive later by a backup quarterback gets the loss. Now, they think they got the game iced. They drop a snap, get behind the chains, and all of a sudden A&M gets 2 series. One to tie it, and now to possibly win it.
Quick flip. Malcolm Kennedy's clock will stop on the movement of the chains on first down. Hill hustles them up. Clock is wound, 1:08 to go. Career long for Lambeau. He achieved it last week, 50 yards. This one off the back foot. Is it caught? No, it is not. And players down.
Yeah, ball bounced. And he stayed down afterwards, didn't
Malcolm Kennedy, yes.
Yep.
Wonder if it might be the elbow. Shoulder.
Malcolm Kennedy, who had 14 receptions in that opening game against South Carolina.
Here's the end of the play. Watch his left elbow hit the ground. Right there. And then maybe the shoulder, one or the other.
He reaches for his shoulder. Watch him reach for the shoulder. Yep, he reaches up there for the top of his left shoulder.
Kennedy, the senior, out of tiny Cayuga, Texas. Remember that big win, Manziel in Alabama at home in Tuscaloosa. The Aggies came in. Malcolm Kennedy had the game winner in that one. Going deep. That's too far. Boone Lederhofer, a free walk-on. Starting to say free agent. Niederhofer, number 82.
The ball was not on the field. Would have been a tough. I mean, the guy was basically covered. It would have taken a perfect pass.
3rd down 10, 50 seconds remaining.
And Kennedy's back in the game in the slot.
Hill lobs it, caught. It's going to be 4th down. Edward Pope, no timeouts.
Question here, if you're A&M, could you take it right down to the last second and throw a Hail Mary? What could happen with 1 second left in the game?
I don't know.
There's not.
I don't know.
What could go wrong?
What if you argue and put 1 second back on the clock? And we're referencing the Iron Bowl, of course.
Yeah.
There's Jake Spavital. If he looks young, it's because he is.
They're going to overtime.
Yep.
And a big advantage, you would think, to A&M because the better kicker.
We played 60 in Arlington. It is the end of regulation in SEC West battle. We are back in Arlington, Texas, and this overtime is presented by Chick-fil-A. 28-28. Aggies came from 14 down in the 4th quarter, and each kicker has missed field goals today.
Yeah, as you come into overtime, both staffs have to be thinking about the misses. Josh Lambeau and John Henson.
That was Lambeau's first miss of the year, and this one from 44, widely hooked to the left. Henson on the left, Lambeau on the right. It might come down to them. Let's go to Tom Ritter and the coin toss.
Period. Each team will get 1 possession from the 25-yard line. Each team is given 1 timeout. Arkansas, you are the visiting captain. Coin with SEC's heads. pinwheel is tails. What is your call? His call is tails. It is tails. Defense. Defense. Offense. Push into the field. Arkansas wins the toss and elects to go on defense. Texas A&M will play on that end of the field.
And so let's take a look at what I would hope by now are the familiar rules of college overtime. The ball does start at the opponent's 25. You keep possession until scoring or failing to make a first down. The teams must have an equal number of possessions. We saw last week that's different than the National Football League rule. And teams must attempt a 2-point conversion after a touchdown starting the third overtime.
So 2, again, where we started the game. And the reason A&M chose this end, that's where all their guys are. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to our side. So we started our open with the contrasting styles. So what do you do in overtime? I think you do what you do.
Okay.
Kenny Hill's hotter now, throwing the ball. They found some creases. Let's see what they threw. Oh, legal procedure. No, they got away with it.
I thought Kennedy moved. I did too.
Yep.
First down 10 at the 25.
Got him.
Deep down the middle. Got him. Malcolm Kennedy, touchdown.
Well, we know why he was flinching. He was anticipating a touchdown. This is the one that Kenny Hill missed early in the game. They come back to it, the fake wide screen, throw it right down the middle, and this time Kenny Hill threw a strike.
Josh Lambo for the extra point. And the Aggies take a 7-point lead. And now Arkansas will get the ball. They must score a touchdown and an extra point to extend the game.
Well, the senior veteran really sold this from the slot. Remember, he was twitching. He was moving because he knew he had the look. Right down the middle. Watch, they faked the wide screen. They got the call from the bench. They're going to fake coming to the wide with Trey Carson. Malcolm Kennedy knows he's got it. He's got it on a linebacker. Fake it, go. Got him.
That was Ellis, the linebacker, who bit and bit hard. Kennedy. Here's Arkansas trying to end a 13-game SEC losing streak. They must get the touchdown and the extra point. Jonathan Williams gets the handoff. Stopped after a gain of 2.5. Ivan Robinson, number 89.
This will be interesting play calling, because remember at the end of the game, Jim Chaney played for the field goal. Obviously, it's 4-down territory now. You would think that Arkansas believes with 4 attempts to run it, they can gain 10 yards. Let's see if they run any passes at all, or do they keep banging away.
Second down, toss. Williams.
Oh, Miles.
Third down.
The freshman, Myles Garrett, makes the play. He shifts there late.
Yeah.
He shifts there so late it confuses Arkansas.
Myles Garrett, number 15, played his high school ball locally. Arlington Martin High School. 3rd and 8.
Well, it's a passing situation now. Let's see what type of formation they have.
Hunter Henry goes to the left side. The one wideout is Keon Hatcher. Now he moves in. Into the flat, caught. Short of the first down. A.J. Derby made the catch. It'll be 4th. 1 or 2, depending on the spot.
Well, let's remember, Mark Snyder said the biggest difference in our team from a year ago, the defensive coordinator for A&M, He says, we're fresh in the fourth quarter or overtime. Let's see if that defensive line can get a stop. They need a yard and a half, all right? 2 yards.
Well, legally 2.
Yep.
Literally a yard and a half. Alex Collins is the running back. He's got blockers to the left. They give it to him. He's stopped. Aggies win. Julian Obioha, number 95, defensive end. First Aggie there.
You know, Obioha got the tackle, and Myles Garrett got the tackle. Of attack right here. Watch those defensive linemen take him on and stone it and force it back to the other side where Obioha and Garrett and Everett, can clean it up and make the play. Stoned on the front side, forces the cutback, and Obioha and Everett clean it up to make the game-winning stop.
Let's go down to Allie LaForce with Kevin Sumlin.
Coach, at halftime, you told me the offense was a little off. Well, it certainly wasn't on the last 2 offensive drives. What clicked?
Well, you know, we dropped some balls in the first half. We were a little sluggish. Penalties, got behind the chains. I can't say enough about these guys. This is a real test for us, and to come from behind and keep playing the way they played with a bunch of young guys, you know, what a heck of a ball game, huh?
It was really the first true test of the season. How proud are you of the way that they handled this adversity?
Well, that's life in the SEC, I guess. You know, this SEC West, you know, we talk about it all the time. Arkansas is a vastly improved team. I said that coming into this week. I was surprised they weren't ranked in the top 25. So, heck of a football game. Both teams played their guts out, and what a show, huh?
Thanks, Coach, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, what a show is so true.
A&M has learned how to finish games the last 2 years with Johnny Manziel. Arkansas still has not learned how to finish.
We're going to do multiple plays of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. First, remember Arkansas had a chance to run out the clock. Frank Ragnow, Brandon Allen, a fumble. That set up a 2nd and 12. Here's the game-tying touchdown. Josh Reynolds, who had 2 critical drops earlier in the game. And now for the game-winning touchdown, Dave South of the Aggie Radio Network.
Looking to throw, he will, and a catch and a touchdown. It's Kennedy. 1 play, 25 yards, touchdown.
And Allie LaForce is with Kenny Hill.
Kenny, you had 2 chances at the end of the game, 1 to tie it and 1 to win it. What did you tell your offense to get them to buy into what your game plan was?
I said, we got this. Trust me, I promise I got y'all. I made a mistake throwing a pick earlier in that fourth quarter, and I told them don't worry about that. Defense got our back, and then I promise I got y'all. I mean, they believed in me, and we went out there and won the game.
The number one thing that your teammates and that your coaches told us about you is that you never blink. You're so calm and collected. How do you hold yourself together in moments like that?
I mean, I've been playing this game my whole life. So, I mean, there's really no reason to be nervous. It's just another game, another opportunity to show what I can do.
Thanks, Kenny, and congrats.
Thank you
very much. 35-28, the Aggies win it in overtime. For Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Arlington. The final score, as we said, 35-28. Kenny Hill has a strong second half. The Aggies are undefeated for the first time at 5-0 since 2001. The Dodge postgame show up next.